What's up, everybody, and welcome to Cooking is Amazing. Today we're going to be making some shrimp skewers with bacon. We're going to be grilling them on the grill. We're going to have some steak along with that and some zucchini and squash that we're also going to grill. I'm going to have my kids involved in here in the kitchen. They're going to help me make the skewers, and then we're going to go light the grill and get it all on, and then we're going to eat it. Hope you enjoy. Hope this works out for you, and I hope you get some valuable information from this, and I hope everything is a blessing to you. So with this recipe, the first thing we want to do is meal prep, okay? So prepping everything that you have and getting ready makes all the difference in the world. So I have my son Connor here with me today. I have my daughter Elena. We're gonna get our marinade ready for the shrimp, for the skewers. I've already got the shrimp to the side. I've washed them, peeled them, took the tail off. I've got them drying. I like to dry my shrimp before I do this because I think if you throw them in wet to a marinade, the marinade doesn't get a good opportunity to get into that shrimp a little bit. It's real tough to penetrate shrimp to try to get any flavor into it, so most of it's going to be on the outside. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. So Connor, how about grab that container right there. We've got a 1/4 cup of lemon juice. I want you to pour it into the bowl. Good. All right. Get the next one. We got a 1/4 cup of olive oil. Use any kind you like. There's not a specific brand I like to use. Just find you a good olive oil. All right, next we're going to put in 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. Okay, when you're done, just set them to the side, okay, buddy? So 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, dump them in. Good to go. All right, and then next, 1 tablespoon of chopped parsley. So grab that one, Connor. Put it in. Put it all in there. Just dump it, man. Perfect. All right, set it aside. All right, now Elena, I want you to do the lids, okay? So I want you to take the salt. We got 1 teaspoon of salt. I know salt's a little, odd adding the shrimp, but you got to give it some kind of flavor. So add the salt in there, and it'll help balance out the sugar as well. All right, now next, you can use regular garlic cloves for this, but I'm using garlic powder. I want to get a little bit more of that flavor on the shrimp rather than just around. So I'm using garlic powder, so dump that in. And that's a teaspoon of that. Next we got a teaspoon of smoked paprika. Gonna give us a little bit of color, but also that little bit of smokiness and a little bit of bite. So dump that. And then last, about a 1/2 teaspoon of just regular pepper. You can use white pepper or any pepper you like. All right, now take that and whisk it up real good. Come on, whisk it. Get in there. Get in there. You want to get it all good. Careful, son. Back up a little bit. Back up a little bit. We want to whisk it good. We got to whisk it fast. Looking good?
Yeah.
All right, looking good. So that's kind of what your marinade is going to look like. Like that. We just got it good. You want to just make sure everything gets combined good in there. And then what we're going to do now, I'm going to bring the shrimp over and we're going to add the shrimp to the bowl. So I need you to back up a little bit, buddy. Back up a little bit. Right there. Thank you. Put this in the sink over here. All right. I got a shrimp. Like I said, it's dried. Paper towels in a pan. Just dried it off. All right. Now I'm just going to add the shrimp into this. Elena, can you back up a little bit, please?
Sure.
This way. This way, honey.
Can I put some?
Hang on. Technical difficulties. It is what it is. It's cooking. Just give me 1 second, buddy. Okay. Another thing with this marinade, folks, you don't want to let this sit more than 30 minutes before you're ready to cook. So I'm going to let this hang out in this marinade about 20 minutes, and then we're going to get started making our skewers. You let it sit much longer than that, and you're going to start getting real tough shrimp when you go to cook it. That lemon juice, the acidity in that lemon juice is going to kind of dry that shrimp out a little bit and try to cook it. So we want to not let it sit too long. All right, got all that in there. So now we got all that in there. Just stick your hand in there and just toss it around. Connor and Laney, y'all want to do this a little bit?
Yeah.
You don't squeeze. Just stick your hand in here and just toss it around a little bit. Just make sure it all gets coated, okay? Really washing my hands.
You can use your hands if you want. Yeah.
Don't mix too much, just give it a little bit of mix, okay?
For children.
Our time for the shrimp, we had about 20 minutes. So now it's time to put these things together. We're going to put the shrimp and the bacon on the skewers so that we can get these things on the grill. I've already got the grill going outside. I've got all the charcoal in the chimney getting ready and nice and hot in the kettle grill. So as soon as these things are done, I'm going to show you a little quick recipe I do with some zucchini and squash. And then we're going to put it on the grill and we're going to eat. So skewers I've had soaking in the sink for several hours now. I know that's probably way too long, but I like to go a little overboard, make sure they soak up that water good so that they don't burn. But simple, I've got thick cut bacon here, and I like to use a whole piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, and I'm just going to stick that bacon on the skewer just like that. Then I'm going to take a piece of shrimp, stab him through here, so that you go through the tail and the body all together. And I've got that on here. So now I just want to come up, I'm going to fold that bacon back on and kind of sandwich that shrimp in there. Then I'm going to grab another shrimp, put him on the skewer, bring the bacon up, put him down a little bit. Another piece of shrimp. And the process is pretty repetitious. So shrimp, bacon, but you don't want to get way too many shrimp on here and flood it. You want to keep a good amount of space so that bacon has a place to cook. So we're going to just spread this out down the skewer a little bit. We're going to spread it down a little more. Excuse me. Kids walked in there. They're coming in. They're anxious to get started with this as well. I told them they could do the rest of the skewers. So there you have it. That's how it's going to end up. You got your bacon, you got your shrimp all in the middle. So I'm going to let the kids finish up the rest, and then we'll cut all the shrimp and bacon, put on the skewers with our marinade. And I went ahead and dumped the extra marinade right on top of that. Just let it sit there for just a hair longer before we put it on the grill. But about the zucchini and the squash, I've got it laid out in the pan. I've got a few more back here, but I'm going to put some olive oil on that so that when we put it on the grill, it doesn't burn. And also, I'm going to put a little bit of my homemade seasoning. I just call it seasonal. It's got a lot of stuff in it, like garlic powder and pepper, and it's got some salt in it and a few other herbs and spices. But anyways, we're going to get started. So just going to put my finger over the end of the olive oil and just drizzle it on. And I'm just going to do it a little liberal. Once I have that done, just a little dusting. It's okay if it gets in the pan, because once we get that done, we're just going to flip them over. We're just going to do the other side, same as before. Cover it with my finger, drizzle it on, pinch. And we're going to season this. You want to drop your seasoning from a little higher than your food because you don't want it all just to fall in one spot on your food. So now that we have both sides oiled and seasoned, we're just going to run it around the pan a little bit. That's going to help spread that oil and spread that seasoning all over this. We got the grill going. It's all nice and hot now. Heat it up well. It's time to put all this stuff on here and get it cooking. So I spread the coals out along everything. Oh, you can hear that sizzle. If you don't hear the sizzle, you're not ready. We're just going to put it all around. As you can notice, you probably don't see any steaks, so I figured we had enough food for what we had, so we'll do the steaks another night. Might get those tomorrow. So we're gonna let those go for just a few minutes and let it cook. We'll come. All right, so we've been on a few minutes now. We're just gonna open them up, give them a check. Oh, I love seeing that smoke. Everything's looking good. I went ahead and added my top rack so I can put the squash and the zucchini on. We're just going to go ahead and give that a turn as well while we're at it. Try not to drop it. One thing I kind of want to use my fingers because I don't want it to fall between those grates and then I lose it. But
Alright. I just didn't have the room to put it the other direction I wanted. That's coming along nice. Nice grill marks. Everything's looking good. Move some of this stuff around a little bit. Get in there in the middle in that heat. Let it firm on up. Those shrimp are almost done. We just want to get that bacon and just tighten them down a little bit. Render some of that fat down. We're going to close the lid, let this go a little. Alright, so we've been grilling about, I don't know, about 15 minutes now, and I've flipped them around a few times and moved things around. But the last thing I did is I moved all my shrimp into the top rack with that bacon, and I put my vegetables underneath. That way that bacon can just sit there and drip all that goodness down on top of it. So now, we're ready to pull these things off. So I'm going to have my daughter to bring me the pans.
Here's bacon. One.
So we're going to start pulling these off. These things are ready to go, and they smell amazing.
They sure do. Ooh, that smells delicious. Ooh, I like that color of the squash and zucchini. That's a really nice brownish color.
So I'm going to ask you to hold this one. Just give me that one. Okay. Both sides. You got it? Got it tight?
Yeah.
All right, take that inside. I'm going to pull these vegetables off. I love my daughter. She wants to be a chef. She wants to be a baker, more like it. So y'all are going to see some stuff from us on baking and different things like that. But hey, I'm excited. If she wants to be in the kitchen, she can be in the kitchen. I'm not stopping her. So these vegetables are done. We're going to go ahead and pull those off now.
Yum, yum, yummy. Those are good.
I know, they're going to taste amazing as well.
I cannot wait to eat
Let's
this.
get them loaded up and get inside. Plate it up.
Alright everybody, that's going to be a wrap. We got our bacon and shrimp skewers over here with the marinade that we did earlier. We got our squash and our zucchini. We're ready to eat it. Thank y'all for watching. I hope y'all enjoy. God bless. And from our family to yours, make cooking amazing. It is amazing, especially when you involve your kids. Love y'all. God bless.
Bye. Bye.